Titi, welcome back to the channel. It's a girl Vera, and I'm back with another reaction video. Today guys, I'm going to be reacting to Pink Book Lessons. My very first time reacting to them, and this is the truth about the who the F did I marry lady. Who the F did I marry lady? No one will admit. Okay, who the F did I marry? The biggest TikTok. Who the did I marry? Okay. Like, I'm just trying to process that. Alright, guys, you know what? I'm super curious to get into this one, but before we get started, we have some amazing people watching us for the first time. If you are new here, hello, I'm Vera. I do reaction videos. We react to different artists on here. We react to different songs from all over the world. If this is something that you love, why not join Vera City? Hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever any video drops. And that, guys, let's go.
The truth about the who the F did I marry lady no woman will admit is that this woman they're now parading around as a victim is the biggest TikTok scammer ever. She not only exposed her own delusion, unrealistic expectations, and wait for it, gold-digging tendencies, but she's exposed what I've been saying about modern women. Although they want to be so bad, most of them are not victims at all. Most of them place themselves in dumb situations because they're looking for a pot of gold. They constantly lie to themselves to feel better. They love men who lie to them because they make them feel better too about their real life circumstances. They will lay down and have a baby with a complete stranger and still claim to be Christian, which is the biggest lie they tell themselves. They really don't believe in any religion, and that's indicative of their refusal to follow the word. Also proving that most of them are the devil's daughter. They can make the most dumb decisions ever and still be told by millions of panda bear women and panda bear simps that they're intelligent. Oh yeah, I can't forget this one. They will stay with a lying man they don't even know and accept all of his lies when she's fully aware that he's lying, just to see how much resources she could swindle out of him for actively consenting to be a part of his lies. I mean, squeeze every dollar out of him that she can pull out and then get on social media in front of millions and tell a 6-hour story presenting herself as a naive victim, and then have a sea of other delusional Jezebels listening to the devil's story herself and emotionally wrapping themselves up into this twisted, sick fantasy and the desire to wallow around in their own made-up sorrows. I've got a lot to say, but didn't want to hold you before first addressing the title of the video. This woman is definitely the biggest grifter of TikTok ever. The biggest for sure. She married some man she didn't know and later said his family reached out to her saying that he's got a mental health condition. And at first I thought she did too, because either you have to be crazy or a big dummy to believe the lies that this lady claimed that she believed. But I quickly realized that she's not just some unattractive, desperate, naive church girl that everybody wanted to categorize her as. She's not that at all. That's what she wanted us to believe in order to be able to sell this victim story. She's really an entitled, calculated, scamming Jezebel who believed a stranger owed her a $700,000 to $900,000 house, a BMW, a vacation to Europe when she barely knew him. A woman who believed that a man was supposed to pay all of her bills after only knowing her for 30 days. Once again, meet the biggest panda bear of 2024. She made her way from TikTok to daytime TV, telling her story as people continue to position this grown woman as a victim of her own stupidity instead of holding her accountable for her decisions. We're going to get into it, but first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. Don't waste any time, let's jump into it.
Now to an ABC News exclusive interview with the woman behind an incredibly viral TikTok video series. I know, Robin, you had a chance to sit down with her.
And boy, does she have a story to tell, Michael. Yeah. Teresa Johnson's story of falling in love, marrying, and then divorcing a man she says turned out to be a pathological liar has over 400 million views.
Do y'all hear that? 400 million views from the Woe Is Me crowd looking for a Mazandra's story to latch onto.
We're not naming the man involved. We're using the nickname she gave him in the videos, Legion.
With just one question, she had the internet hooked.
Who did I marry?
In her 50-part TikTok series, Teresa Johnson now widely known on social media as Risa Tisa, details her whirlwind pandemic romance that she says was filled with love, heartbreak, and alleged deception.
I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar.
And the way she told this story, like she's some long-suffering wife. This whole story from the time they met to the time of the divorce happened within a year.
The viral saga has garnered more than 400 million views and counting.
Were you nervous about sharing?
Yes, I was nervous, but ultimately I decided if you're going to tell this story, tell the whole story. I also really truly believe the story will help somebody. It costs you nothing to
I know, she has gone viral. Nice.
But it very well may cost you everything to not verify.
I know she's not saying that's a lesson from the story, to make sure you verify that a man is who he is and he's got the money that he said he's got. And this is how I know we're still dealing with a dumb, delusional lump of lard. One big moral of the story is to stop going around digging for gold. Because if you weren't broken money hungry and looking for a man to scam just like a city girl, trying to get the most out of a man for nothing, then you wouldn't even be in this situation. When she met him, she had a job, but she was broke. She was a broke wannabe independent woman, fake Christian, renting out some townhome apartment, living from check to check. And this lying man showed up and lied about everything except for paying all her bills the whole time. And again, from the beginning, she knew that he was lying, but she went along with it. Why? Because she was the one playing him. Yeah, he lied about everything except for paying those bills. And money talks, especially to a scamming, money-hungry Jezebel. That's how she got caught up.
The narrative spread out over an 8-hour-long TikTok playlist.
Part 1, how'd y'all meet?
So we actually met on Facebook dating.
And we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names.
There are a lot of things in this story that were red flags. This was probably one of them, but we thought it was hilarious that we matched on two different sites. This was a guy who I really, after having multiple conversations with, felt like, wow, where have you been?
Within 2 weeks, she says the couple decided to quarantine together in her Atlanta home.
Wow.
That's another lesson. See, there are so many lessons in this crazy soap opera, but it's not the lessons that these misandrists and feminists are pointing out. Why in the world will you have a stranger moving in after only 2 weeks? And then the way they're presenting the story, like she had it all together. She was broke and desperate. And she did not own a home. She was renting an apartment townhome, which again is why this was so easy. He was coming in to take over all those bills.
It was more of a very temporary, he's coming to stay for the lockdown. The lockdown just never ended.
Teresa says Legion told her he had substantial savings from his time playing arena football and quickly took over paying her household bills.
Part of the reason that you stayed, was there anything to do with the fact that he said he had money, or you thought that he had money?
I definitely was not with him for the money.
Did anybody notice how
what would you have said?
Again,
part of the reason that you stayed, was there anything to do with the fact that he said he had money, or you thought that he had money?
I definitely was not with him.
Right there, body language 101. Somebody in the comments, tell us what that is.
For the money. But I will admit that there came a point he was paying all the bills and he was being as a provider, and I had never in my life experienced that before.
Provider? You call that being a provider? Paying everything
all
2 weeks? No, that makes him a fool and you a scammer. That's called you taking advantage of him and being a city girl for the first time probably in your life, being able to actually live out what Carisha and JT and them been living out for years. No way, you are not going to disguise this as providing. It's an unfair deal and you was getting over. This is how you allowed yourself to be lied to from the beginning when you knew he was telling lies.
I really felt like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like I can just exhale. Yes, that felt good.
Teresa also says he made promises to buy her things, including a luxury car, a house, and a trip to London.
What were you thinking when he was making these promises and when they weren't happening?
We're touring houses. I physically saw him put an offer in on a house. It is unfathomable to see someone put an offer in and they have no money. So my mind was kind of saying, okay, something isn't right, but you know what you saw.
And here's the part that these bonehead flamingos just couldn't understand. The part that wasn't just right is, why would you as a woman be expecting for a man that you've barely known for 90 days to go out and buy you a house, to buy you a car,
Just like
and not
that.
start a home? You walk your dumb happy behind up into a house talking about you're touring it that's listed at $700,000. That's the point where everybody should have been asking, is she stupid or dumb? But no, these flamingos were so wrapped up into this story that common sense never registered into their brains.
The trip to London, he never actually booked it. Anyone that knows me will tell you that she's wanted to go to London since she was a little kid.
Oh.
So that was difficult because you're playing with me.
Stop playing.
Girl, just stop it. You played with yourself, and that's what nobody's telling her. He didn't steal not one dime from her. He didn't swindle any money out of her. Instead, he paid all of her bills and just kept on lying to her. She knew he was lying, but the getting was so good, it was good enough for her to stick around to see if she could get more.
In the series, Teresa explains why she continuously chose to overlook what she calls the United Nations of red flags. There's something that you said I really want to get it here. A quote here. Number one, I don't want to be alone. Number two,
I didn't want to look stupid by having the relationship end so quickly for everyone to be like, we told you something was up. And number three, I was ready to get married.
And this is why I cannot go around calling this woman a victim. Nobody did anything to her. All because she didn't get the riches she wanted. She's a long-suffering victim.
I felt like time was running out. I ignored things because I really wanted it to be my turn.
You get pregnant and unfortunately you lose the baby.
That is where I say the relationship should have ended. Instead, the miscarriage almost pushed me to hold on to him even more.
Teresa claims after they got married, she started uncovering an elaborate web of lies.
Another reason why I cannot stand this feminist media. She did not uncover the web of lies after they got married. She was already aware that he was lying to her about a lot of stuff within the first month.
I got married January 5th.
Wow.
By January 31st, I knew I was in trouble.
The question isn't what all did he lie about. The question definitely became, okay, what is actually true? What can you prove? Every I love you was a lie. Every I got you was a lie. That does something to you mentally.
What was the most painful for him?
The part that still makes me, that I struggle with, is you pretended to be your own executive assistant when I was texting you to say I'm in pre-op. So there was never an executive assistant. You were never in a meeting. You just simply did not take me to the hospital when I lost our child.
And once again, here's a question that no one's asking. You had only known this guy for 2 months. How did you get pregnant by somebody you didn't even know? The normal level of concern, the normal level of love, the normal level of care, I would not expect that out of a relationship with a stranger.
Teresa says she discovered he had a criminal record. Documents revealing Legion pled guilty to charges of impersonating a police officer in 2017 and even had an open warrant for violating probation. After just 6 months of marriage, Teresa and Legion divorced.
It was as if
that's crazy.
A year worth of weight.
How did you just get married to someone?
I broke down, and I mean, I wailed.
I heard you say that you're not who you were before all this happened. Do you miss her?
I do. I do.
What?
She got excited. I don't really get excited anymore. I am terrified to get excited because I went through a whole year and some change of getting excited only for it to be stripped away. I do still believe in love. I do still believe in marriage. I do still want that. Being single is not always the great thing, but being married to the wrong person is a completely different type of hell.
And this is why I always tell young women to vet. And you never rush to have children. You only bring children into the picture after you have a stable, healthy marriage. You do not go around having unprotected relations. That's how you get pregnant. You do not rush and get married to somebody that you haven't even known a year. That's how you marry somebody you don't know. But we gotta be honest. When you have this fairy tale and think that you're entitled or you deserve a high value man, any guy that can look the part, fake the part, act like the part, dress the part, talk the part, he's got you. That's how you ignore the red flags. That's how you ignore the lies. And that's how you play yourself.
Wow.
Why do you think your story has resonated with so many people?
I do think being accountable, people appreciate that. I have nothing wrong with asking for grace if I'm going to be honest and say, this is where I messed up. I know I messed up. I'm going to be honest, I really had to kind of repent. Like, I had to really ask God to forgive me, because I believe that God did everything to stop me. And my hard-headed self was still like, that's not a red flag. That's more pink.
A rebellious, disobedient Jezebel.
That was more pink. You know.
Teresa says even though recording the series was
hard,
therapy has been key.
It is still very much a journey of healing, self-reflection, and simply loving myself way more than to put myself through that or anything even like that ever again. Ever.
We reached out to Legion on several occasions. He declined to respond, but he took to social media, refuted the claims by Teresa, including denying that he had financial woes and saying the relationship ended because Teresa allegedly had an affair. He maintains that her story is only being posted now because he's in another relationship. Over 400 million views and counting. She has really struck a chord with women and men who have shared similar stories, and part of it is her accountability.
What? I know this lady did not just say accountability, because no one held this woman accountable. Nobody.
Yeah.
In all of this.
In honesty. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to get married. I thought it was my time. So you can understand all those things.
Yeah, and the thing is, she's taking herself to London. She is. She said she is taking herself to London later this year.
I thought you were going to pop out with a GMA giveaway. We going to take it. I'll behave.
Guess it's going to happen.
What do you mean you're going to behave? You're already misbehaving.
This is super embarrassing, and even more embarrassing that you have all of these women clinging to this soap opera. She's been propped up like this victim that's going through so much pain and so much trauma when nothing happened to this woman besides her staying with a stranger who kept lying to her, all because she wanted a high value man. She wanted to see what it was like for a man to pay for everything, even though she didn't even know him and wasn't even at that level to demand such things. And now she's being rewarded for all of her own dumb decisions. And you had a lot of people saying that her self-esteem was low. But what about his self-esteem? He did all of this lying and paying all these bills, spending thousands of dollars per month. No, he wasn't a high-level executive, but he was paying those bills. And I'm sorry, this is a bad deal. And I don't see how anybody else can't see it. If we reverse the roles, everybody will clearly see it. But let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Let me know what you think about this below. Special thank you to Roland C. I appreciate you, Roland, for all of your support. Shout out to our sister Shay, K-Ron S, Zark Power, Zarel, Mr. Paul B, and Lash. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.
Wow. Okay. That was a lot, guys. I don't even know what to say, but this was crazy. So the woman, first of all, why would you, someone you just met, you're ready, you moved in with the man just 2 weeks after you met on social media. It's even dangerous. I don't trust people on social media. With everything going on these days, it could be a kidnapper, it could be anybody. Like, you just allowed him into your home, and now they said he's a suspect. The police have been looking for him, the cops have been looking for him. It is crazy. And so now people are saying she's the villain of her own story, that she made it up or whatever. Well, I would blame her, because why would you meet somebody and the next minute is in your bed and is doing all of that? But I'm sure all these people judging her. There are people that they meet strangers first day, and the first day they meet them, they do stuffs. She met someone online, and within 2 weeks he's already in your house paying your bills and got married. Come on. And now they said the man is also married. The story is twisted. It's really twisted. And I just want to, like, you know, react to this with an open mind. Okay, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to attack the lady because everybody's attacking her. Whatever she has done, she has done. And the fact that she was able to, bring herself out of the marriage, actually she still used her brain to bring herself out. There are lots of ladies that do worse than what she just did. There are a lot of ladies that they meet people online, they will even travel all the way to go and meet them where they are. Yeah, things are happening. So she's not the first person to do something like this. Although I can never do something like that. Like, oh my goodness, I cannot just meet somebody and oh no. So it is just crazy. And what do you guys think about this video? I would love to hear your thoughts. Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear the husband's side, like our ex-husband. Okay, I'm not gonna judge based on what she's saying because I don't want to be biased. I'm just listening to one person's point. So I need to listen to your husband, see his clips, what he has to say, then we'll know what exactly is going on. Don't you guys agree? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please give it a each thumbs up, and please share this video. And if you're new here, join Vera CT, hit the subscribe button below, turn on the post notification bell so that you can always be the first person to know whenever a new video drops. And that's, guys, see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.